There comes a time in every person's life where they set their moral platitudes aside and they say to themselves, "Self, today is a good day to do a bad thing." In this week's review of Anti-Hero, I was able to live out that fantasy in Victorian-era Thieves Guild. This multiplayer single-player game by Tim Conklin and produced by Versus Evil allowed me to live in the Victorian era, where I was dodging chamber pots of pooty-doo being thrown out from my neighbors, where mental illnesses were cured by a nail being hammered into your skull, and when leeching, of course, was the best treatment for syphilis. What a life. One thing I learned about this game is that thieving ain't easy, but it sure is fun. Know what I mean? Anti-Hero is a richly crafted and constructed strategy game that pits you against an aggressive AI system or against your friends in a Victoria England backdrop. You are the leader of a Thieves Guild, and it's your goal to take out all the competition in the various districts throughout the kingdom. Now, I've watched Mary Poppins, and this is no spoonful of sugar. If I had to explain what the feel of the game would be, I've heard it compared to Oliver Twist, and I think that's pretty accurate, but I'd also like to pour a little bit of Gangs of New York into it, and that's the movie before Leonardo DiCaprio was flying his plane of ozone-depleting gases around the Earth to promote global warming prevention. I mean, one of the character concepts looks like Daniel Day-Lewis from that movie anyway in his portrayal of the Butcher. Maybe not nearly as cool, but pretty freaking cool nonetheless. I mean, look at that stash. So moving forward, the game has a really light-hearted feel about it, and its turn-based style is pretty refreshing, allowing you to take in details of the world while you try to strategize. You have one main thief character in each game which wanders the map, revealing what secrets the streets hold, and making off with loot in the meanwhile. During your turn, you can research and level up abilities and gain crew members to help fulfill your ultimate goal, which is to rule the roost and own the kingdom, at least as far as the streets are concerned. So you achieve this victory through assassination or through getting bribes that help keep the fuzz off of you by making the clergy amiable towards your sins. Now, all the while you're pitted against another player, and their goal is to make sure that you don't rule the roost. So you gain street urchins from orphanages, and they basically run your day-to-day operations, earn you Golden Lantern, which in turn help you level up your crew and give you more abilities to thieve and not be caught. So you gain street urchins that run your day-to-day operations, and the character concepts in this game are pretty freaking fantastic. I mean, you got this bald guy that runs a wagon all over the town trying to get the little orphans that are just trying to run your businesses. And I mean, he looks like the Grim Reaper, and if you had smell-o-vision, he'd probably smell of rotten cabbages. Rotten cabbages and hand lotion. I mean, I'm scared to go to sleep at night for fear of somebody getting me and offering me candy corn to take me into Lord Voldemort's basement and do things that, I don't know, you can't wave away with a magic wand. You know what I'm saying? But enough of my improbable fears. The gameplay of the game is super simple and easy to understand. The turn-by-turn progression allows for a more strategy-based gameplay, and I wasn't surprised by it. And the mechanics of the game itself are very, very easy to master. It does have several difficulties, but I think normal is the best in its current iteration. So this is a game that you need the sound for. The music wasn't anything to write home about. It wasn't fantastic or stunning. You can listen to Spotify. But, you know, the general concept and sound of the game blend well together and create a wonderful cascading ambiance for the game. I mean, you really feel like you're there. You feel like you're dodging chamber pots, and you feel like you're running away from crazy old men with bald heads. And, hey, isn't that what you really want to do in a game? Is run away from crazy old men with bald heads that have candy corn? So this is a game that you can play over and over and over again with friends, or just by yourself. It has a good story narrative, which keeps you engaged, but the main thing that I really like about this game is that it is multiplayer. You can play either on LAN, or you can play online with other people. So that gives it a longevity that most games don't have. Now, is it better than other games? that do the same thing? I don't believe so. So with all that said, overall, I give it a 6 out of 10. Now, a lot of you might think that's a little bit low compared to other ratings I've given other games, and here are my reasons. It does have good replayability, and it is an amazing character concept and story concept. So I really like those aspects about the game. However, I've played other games like it that just do it better. Armello, for one, is an example. And so for me, I just think the asking price of it was a little too high. Now, if it's on sale, I think it's a must buy. A really, really solid game as far as like something that you can get at a discount. The game was good. It just wasn't great. I'm sorry, guys. I really wanted to like it better. So with all that said, until next time.
I do believe I've soiled myself. How good? I thought it was me.
And drop a comment below along with a like. And if you're feeling especially hyped, give us a share to a friend who might enjoy indie games. And don't forget to subscribe for more fun time with Russ and Matt. That wasn't creepy at all. Okay, bye.